Cameron Grimes was
Uh,
released. This was really sad.
I think
Along
he's
with
the first one I've ever seen that posted a video about him being released or even a tweet that was actually crying or that upset. I think that's the
yeah,
first time I've ever seen that because most of the time it's like they're just disappointed and maybe a little mellow or they're pissed. I've
yeah.
never seen someone actually like visibly crying, emotional.
I haven't either. And I would think it has to do with the fact that his dad
Mhm.
was at the before he died. He just got signed to
Mhm.
WWE, and then his dad passed away.
Mhm.
Um, and then to be released from it, it feels like he probably feels that he let a lot of people down, including him, and that's just not the case at
Yeah.
all. That's just the initial emotional reaction you're gonna have. It just timing's a bitch. It's the same thing. Why Jinder Mahal and Veer and all those guys were released because timing is a bitch. They just did not fit in the puzzle right now,
Well,
and that doesn't mean that they can't be wrestlers anymore. In fact, they should probably go to different places like an AEW or a TNA. Go to
I
TNA.
think Grimes, yeah, can't
Go to TNA. Don't go
he
to.
Trevor Lee should go to TNA.
He
And
would thrive in TNA. They're so hot right
well,
now.
Mustafa Ali already told it. It was like tweeted him. He's like, "We'll be waiting your arrival," is what he
Yeah.
said.
Look at Mustafa Ali. Like, that was
I
someone who
know.
was released and is now probably one of the hottest names in the world of wrestling right now.
Well, and I think that it's not going to work for everybody, and it doesn't necessarily mean that their path will take them back to WWE the way it did for Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes. Like, I'm not, I don't mean that, but it does feel like this could be something that we see for Trevor Lee because that's
Mhm.
his ring name. Um, I could see him going to TNA and becoming like a big deal over there, and then maybe WWE would be like, "Oh, okay," because I think he's just one guy, like one of the latest guys that fell victim to just like not having opportunities given to him. Like people were
Mhm.
just not invested in trying to figure out a role for him on SmackDown because he was just drafted last year.
Mhm.
So he clearly was supposed to be a part of the plans at the beginning because he was on SmackDown like every single week, and it looked like, oh, okay, they're gonna do something with him. And then he fell off the face of the planet for months, and then showed up as a jobber. So it was like, all right, what's going on?
Mhm.
Um, but he's still young enough to go off and do stuff for a few years. He's only 30. So he can go and do stuff, and maybe he'll prefer being in TNA. Maybe that's his dream, or maybe he does one day want to come back to WWE. But I think that there is like a recipe for success that they can follow. We've seen other people mention it when they got released from WWE. Like, okay, well, we've seen, like I said, the guys like Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, who, when they're in their first stints with WWE, were disappointing and
Mhm.
underwhelming. And then they went off and invested in themselves and became stars in different companies. And now look where they are. Like that could be in his future. So we'll see.
We'll have to see. The best of luck to Trevor Lee and wherever
Mhm.
he ends up.
'Cause we really liked him too, like,
I
and that's
like,
not
yeah.
even just trying to jump on the bandwagon now, like, there's literally plenty of, live streams and stuff that we were talking about how were, like, "To the moon," like, we were
To
just
the
like
moon.
yeah,
I
so,
loved
like,
it. Yeah.
we were really hopeful, but, maybe, like, there can be some sort of silver lining in this for him, and I hope so because, uh, I do think the fact that he was emotional proves just how much this business means to him and how much he loves it. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
saying that, if you're pissed off that you're not, or if you don't really have an emotional reaction that it doesn't, but like when it brings out that kind of emotion from you, you can
Oh, yeah.
tell how much it actually means. So I really
Absolutely
hope that
can.
he can go and continue living his dreams in any way that he can. So